Well, good afternoon, Bill. This is a waste of time. I've just sent a message to Simon. I don't know whether he's around, but I've sent an email to Steve a couple of hours ago. He's obviously at breakfast, and I don't think he's ever responded to my emails about the server being down. So as a last resort, I've got a hold of Simon, and I don't know whether Simon's going to be able to get a hold of him. I'm just going to check just now. Hang on. Now, there I've had a message come in. Hang on a sec to check this. Oh no, it's not. It's bloody Twitch. Let me have a look. No response on Facebook, so Simon's not around. So you just have to assume that Steve is aware of it. I mean, that's like, what, 2 days in a row? And if you go by East Coast time, it's like 9 a.m. in the morning. There's no way a server should be down at 9 a.m. in the morning. I mean, middle of the night, maybe, US time, but not early morning time. It's what, 2:45. Well, my suggestion to Hairpig and Bedhead, the easiest way to solve this is if you both had shooters pool. That's the easiest way to solve it. If you both had shooters pool, get into shooters pool, and we'll do the live stream in there, and then the result can be put into the bracket. Because obviously, one of you is going to forfeit, and one of you is going to get advanced once this server kicks back in, because we're 15 minutes away from it, and well, that doesn't matter. I mean, Bedhead might suck as well. I think we're clutching at straws here. Well, you're both the same, but you can have the restrictions more than what it is in VP4, but you can have that switched off. But it's still not as good as VP4 as far as that goes. Right. No acknowledgement at all from Simon. None whatsoever. And Steve never ever replies to me on Facebook. I've sent him messages, loads of messages on Facebook in the past about the server being down. Never a response. Never any acknowledgement, which would be appreciated a little bit. Then you at least know that you're getting through to him. I'm just going to click VP4 again. Now, a couple of minutes ago, I actually got to the main screen, which I haven't been able to do for a long while. But then most of the time, you just get the little grey box like, come up right now, connection failed. So still the same. The assumption is that they are working on it, I would hope. But in the meantime, this is as good as is going to happen. I'm glad there's only one match today. When I checked it earlier, hang on a second. Let me get rid of this. Get this to work. Hang on.
This is VP4 TV. Here is a list of scheduled upcoming matches in this year's VP4 2022 World 10 Ball Championship. I will try and stream as many matches as I can, although time zone differences will be an issue. I must thank those players who take this into consideration when arranging their matches. Please subscribe to my YouTube and Twitch channels to join in the stream chat.
So, we've got the match that's supposed to be scheduled today. Now, here's a question for you two guys. Obviously, it's been arranged at this time of the day. My assumption is it's been arranged more as a preference for Hairpig because he's in the States. So he's at least 5 hours behind. and it's a question of whether, assuming the server goes back up at some point today, as to whether both of you are going to be available to try and get this done. Yeah, that's no good. It's no good when this happens. Let's try it again. Normally I have to say I get a response out of Simon, but maybe there's other people been haranguing Simon about this as well. I don't know. But unless Steve tells me different, my assumption is that Simon's the man to get a hold of Steve. I would much rather have a direct connection myself. But that's his choice. He leaves it with Simon to do it, or to do whatever it is he does. In fact, I don't know whether Simon still does what he does. I haven't a clue what the arrangement is. But definitely no acknowledgement, no response there. So we are 10 minutes away. And it's still hanging, still nothing doing. Well, Steve will just obviously need to open up the match again to rearrange it, by the look of it. I have to say though, I mean, shit is not the word. I wonder what other companies use this server that Steve uses. It must be a Mickey Mouse one. That's the only solution I can come up with. It's a Mickey Mouse place that VP4 is the only game that uses it. If there was any, you can imagine that big companies. Now, again, I don't know how gaming works in that sense, but big gaming companies, will have their own servers. My assumption is, and you don't have to hire out a server from some tuppenny halfpenny cheap company that can't maintain them properly, or can't have the necessary safeguards in to cover a situation like this. Because the thing is, again, Steve's got to be paying money for this server, and as far as I'm concerned, the service is no good. It's no good because it goes down, and if it can't be down for maintenance, because that way Steve should have had prior notice of that, and then we should have all been made aware of it. So this has happened twice in 2 days, and this is the worst yet. Now, when's the deadline? Is it the 20th? What's the day's date? This is the 13th. I thought the deadline was the 20th. So it was. Now, let's just go back in. I'm going back into Facebook, see if... right. I'm still going to send Steve a message. When you look at the contacts on Facebook, you see a little green light next to them. The little green thing presumably is to tell you that they are online, or they've got Facebook running in the background, whether it be on their phone or on the PC. Now, I've had another acknowledgement here. Who's that from? No, that's another one. Another notification. It's just from YouTube. Right, so as usual, no joy there with that method. If he does respond, I'll get an alert on my phone anyway, but I wouldn't hold my breath for it, put it that way. We are 6 minutes away. VP4 still dead. Little egg timer on the screen. Oh wait a minute, it's going to load to the main screen again, and it's done this earlier on. There you are, it's up. Get in, I'm first in. Get in, guys, get in quick. I'm in. I'll probably get kicked in a minute, but there is nobody else in this lobby but me. Not a single person in the lobby. And Hairpig has arrived. Napnicker has arrived. And I don't think I've ever been in the lobby on my own in VP4. Right, the server's definitely back up because all of the ladders and everything have all loaded. And there is 5 minutes to go. The NRT tournaments are much more of a hassle than they're worth. Team, what does that mean? Anyway, where's Bedhead? Is he still struggling to get in? Bedhead's arrived in the lobby. Right, people's beginning to arrive now. And the one thing you notice is Steve isn't in the lobby, which isn't a good sign. I'm just thinking, is he away golfing today at this time of the day? I don't think this is. I thought Wednesday was his golf day. Right, so we might or we might not have a match on depending on the stability of this thing. But I think it's time that Steve get a roasting when he comes onto the stream about this. Anyway, welcome anybody who's there. I don't even think of a time to change my... Let me check this. No, I haven't. See, normally I would do all of that before this stream starts, and I've no time to do it. I've been desperate to see if the server was going to go up. Why did I do that? Hang on a minute. Let me get that changed. You know, that tells you I was in a rush. I think if I do that by hiding it and try that one isn't working. Let me try something, hang on. There we go. Problem solved. That'll do it. So we're about a minute and a half away. Fingers crossed this will survive. Anyway, welcome everybody. We may or we may not have a match on here, but it's due to go any minute now between Bedhead from Sweden and Hairpig from the USA in the one loss side in the VP4 2022 10 Ball World Championships. And we're just hanging on and hoping that this room will go up. But more importantly, we're hoping that the server will hold up. I mean, this has been down since early morning. I think it went down about, it must have went down about 9 AM my time, which again is the middle of the night. And the room is up. We'll get in. The cloth's at the right colour. And we'll have the lag for the break. Again, a reminder, the player on the top of the HUD on the left-hand side will be the player on the right-hand side as they lag off. Now, where's Hairpig got to? Well, there's no doubt Hairpig will need to be on his game. Here we go, they're both in the room. Hairpig on the right. Bedhead on the left. And Hairpig's won it. So, a break and a ball. 6 ball is gone. A bank on the 1 is available, I think. Let's have a look. Maybe not. No, I don't think it is. Bank isn't available. He would have to cut across it to try and make the bank, but the problem is he wouldn't be able to get the cue ball away, I don't think. So he hasn't called the combo either, because the combo's not dead set, so he must be looking for a safety. He might be trying to go over by the 2. Well, he's called the 5. This might be a sort of 2-in-1 shot here. The problem is he might end up snooking himself in the 1 ball. He's not put any left English on it, so he's not going to come further up towards the 2. But the cue ball's heading sort of in that direction. Now, I don't know whether Bedhead's going to call the 5. Well, I was before you arrived, Cobra. I was suggesting to Bedhead and Hairpig to get their shooters pull up and running if they've got it, and we'll go in and play the match in there. Well, Bedhead took the pot on in the 1, but I think he's more or less got away with it. Yeah, there's not enough of that 1 ball showing. He's called the 5. Excellent shot.
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
And got it perfectly. Couldn't have played that any better. Oh, he's got it too soft, too thin. Trying to be delicate there to hold for that 2 ball. And Bedhead should be in trouble here because this will bank back along the rail towards that 2. And he should be ducking down behind the 3 ball. Needs to slow down a wee bit. Just hold the pace off because I think he might be in trouble himself here. He's left enough of that 1 ball showing, and Hairpig will be heading the same direction. Oh, he again just needs to slow up, and that's a better shot. That's now got Bedhead in trouble, and the 3 ball blocks the line to that 1 ball. Well, for him to get to that 3 ball, he's got to hit this with left English, I think. As he called it into the other pocket, he's trying to go, he's going left English. This is just anybody's guess how this is going to work out. Because the line isn't there, so he's having to make the angle, and it's just a total guess. He'll do well to hit the 1 ball, let alone pot it, or do anything with it. And he'll take that, but it's... oh, tell a lie, I forgot. It was... what ball did he hit first? The 2 ball. So, a 110 combo is looking pretty set. Welcome to Machine, and welcome to anybody else who's joined us. So that's a bonus for Hairpig. It was on his break, so now it's Bedhead breaking. And it's dry. It's dry, but although the 1 ball's on, Hairpig's got to find a line out of there. He doesn't want to try and thin this 1 ball too much. So I think he should try and stun behind the 3 with a bit of spin and get out and up the table for the 2 into the side. And he's quite close to that top rail as well, which restricts him with the cue ball, that is. Now he just has to bump something there so he doesn't hook himself. Oh dear, what's happened? Is he okay? He's fine. I'm not sure though that the angle's that great. Let's have a look. Well, the angle's not bad. He can come over by this 9 ball, I think. He might want to put a wee feather of left on this as well, just to guide it on its way, and that's what he's doing. Well, he needs to get the legs though. You've got to hit it. He's way short on that by 2 feet at least. I mean, the worst thing that was going to happen there is he was going to bump the 9, and the cue ball's actually heading past the 9. And that's what's caused him to miss the 3, but that bump in the knuckle, well, what a bonus that is. So a little run of the ball here for Hairpig. And Bedhead's called the opposite corner. He needs to watch the scratch off this 3 ball as well. Well, obviously the pot is on in the 3, but cue ball's not heading in a good direction. And I think at best if he pots this, he's just looking to duck away from that 4 ball and get cover somewhere. Oh, I've had a message from someone. Let's find out who that's from. Right, Simon's finally replied. Already emailed him. I'll just tell him it's up. Right. Well, that was nowhere near the 1 ball. So now Hairpig has his chance. Ball in hand to drop in behind the 4 ball. But that's not the issue. It's how he drops behind this 4 ball that's going to be important, because he has to get out of there. And I think he's fairly straight, so it's just going to be a straight draw and control the pace to get on this 5. And once again, he wants to leave this with enough angle to get up the table. Now, that is not great, because his potting angle takes the cue ball into this corner. And he's got to mess with that corner pocket. And that's why he's probably been distracted, making sure he avoided that. Well, this is going to be a quick finish to the rack, because he's ran the 10 right over the pocket. Now, Bedhead is going to have to stun off that 5 onto the 10. Now, he's got a margin of error here to stun to the rail and catch the 10. Yeah, well done.
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
So, 1 rack all. And Hairpig's break in rack number 3 has certainly given him a ball, but no shot. 3 ball is gone, nothing doing in the 1. Hang on a minute, guys. The Stubbs in the room typing crap as usual in block capitals. Welcome to Fast Eddie. Yeah, we've all got our fingers crossed that this is going to hold up so we can get this finished. And that's Stubb been taken care of. He's been muted for 240 minutes, so there won't be any more distractions in the room, which is good. So we're still tied up 1 rack all here. And Hairpig having to kick at the 1, not a difficult target. Now ideally if he hits this full in the face, oh, I think that's touch and go of whether that was legal or not. We'll soon find out. By the way, I spent the first 2 days of the US Open, which the US 9-ball Open has just, the morning session has just started 15 minutes ago, same time as this match. And I spent 2 days looking at the bracket. Bear in mind there was 256 players in the bracket. Going through the whole bracket looking for Errol Strickland because I knew he'd signed up to it. And I was looking to see who he was playing. In fact, I'd already seen who he was playing. I think it was some guy from the Far East, you know, maybe Taipei or somewhere like that, or Japan. And then I've been looking for those 2 days after the tournament started. And I couldn't find his name. And then I seen a post on Facebook, and I also went to Errol Strickland's Facebook page, and it says not coming to the US Open. He's got COVID. Welcome to Spectre. Welcome to Repetition. So after all of that, that's why I couldn't find him in the bracket, because he didn't show up. He had to withdraw. So, and that's not a great safety from Bedhead. He was trying to use the 6 and 8 ball, but he's left far too much of this 1 ball exposed here. Now, I think he's got to play a little bit of left in this cue ball, or it'll squirt away around behind the 1. The angle he's playing this at. Well, I think when he hits this, we'll see whether he whether he can get the line past that 9 and actually hit this one. It might come out and miss it. No, he's got it. It was close. But Hairpig has won that safety battle. Just needs to kill the cue ball, but he doesn't want to kill it in the rail, and he's stuck to the rail now. That's the other problem, you know. So he's limited what he can do, but he doesn't really have to do a lot because he's pushing the 4 up the table into the top pocket, push through far enough of the 5 back into this bottom right hand corner. 6 is there, and the big shot of the rack is going to be to the 7 ball, and then from the 7 to the 8. And these, again, repeat myself, are what Hairpig has to be taken out. Oh, it depends what you're watching. If you're watching Facebook or YouTube, it depends what the main feature match is. They'll have commentators on the one table, but none in the other one. Think of how I felt last night. I was watching the Champions League football, and it was a Chinese commentator I was listening to. Well, that's no good. I mean, he's pretty straight, so he's going to have to play this long, this 8 ball, and he's got to hope he has an angle on it where he can get away from the 9 and come back up and down the table to get back on the 9, I think. Well, he's jacking up big time to try something, and that's not bad as far as getting the 8 ball, but he's dicing with death to pot this and do something to bump the 9. And he's got bottom in the cue ball. And if he's running into the 9, this is just about being lucky. And he's got lucky. Now, if he runs the cue ball forward, he's going to catch the rail before the side pocket, I think. And he's just trying to hold that cue ball far enough to still have the cut in the side, which he has got, for a 2-1 lead. Oh dear. Now that is a big, big miss.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
That's a big miss. You can't be doing those. I mean, he's sort of snatched at that. There's nothing smooth about it at all. It needed just a little soft draw, that ball. And that's a huge miss at this early stage of the match. You just cannot do that. That's unforgivable, that shot. There was nothing difficult about it. And it's one that's got away there for Hairpig, and it's cost him the rack. And meanwhile, Bedhead broke off. Couple of balls, the 3 ball, the 9 is gone, he's on the 1, the 2's over the top left. 4 ball is out in the open. And it's all about when he plays the 4 ball, getting back up the table for the 5 into the side, because the 6 is not going to be an issue. So I'm afraid for Hairpig that this is going to cost him big time. Yeah, that was in the first day. Yeah, he was. I think he lost it. Did he lose it 9-6 or something like that in the end? Or I think he lost. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, the thing about obviously the guys who play pool in a wheelchair, they're constantly using the rest or the bridge, so they're well used to that. And you know, he's paid his money. He entered the tournament, as he's well within his rights to do so. And I mean, you get yourself on the TV table as well. That's something to look back on. Well, Hairpig finds himself back at the table, and he shouldn't be. So the mistakes are coming, and this is tough. Now again, it's about taking your medicine here. Pot the 6, get the cue ball back across, leave the big cut in the 7, and go up and down the table. That's probably the safest route. He's trying to come back, and again, that's just asking too much, and he never got there anyway. And this 6 ball bank is on, or the cut. Well, you've got to remember that for the first 4 days, Matchroom are only covering tables 1 and 2 on YouTube and Facebook, and then that's your free viewing over. Then it goes on to Sky Television. Sky Television have got the exclusive rights in the UK, and it's their feed that goes around the world. So that's why there's only the 2 commentators, because there's only ever going to be the 2 well, they're not the same 2 commentators that will do all the remaining matches. They will chop and change, but I think, as Steve says, Matchroom, they love to broadcast pool, but it is just 9 ball. That's all they broadcast, and I've always said they don't really do a lot for the education of people in this country about the game. Not a lot. They just do coverage of it, but other than that, they don't do an awful lot more in terms of you know, the variety of different pool games that are available. And 10 ball would be a far better game to be watching than 9 ball. So anyway, somehow or other, Hairpig is back all square. I think there's about 3 different brothers there. Kopin Yi, Kopin On, or whatever, and then there's another one. That might be him. There's at least 3 of them playing in that tournament. I saw they were talking about the youngest brother. I think it was yesterday. Yeah, it's beginning to hot up now. This is day 4, so we'll need to hunt around and find a live stream. That Chinese, that link that Hazad gave me for that Chinese website, it had all the main Champions League matches on it last night, and the quality was excellent. It never buffered once, and although the commentary's all in Chinese, it doesn't matter. You can watch the game. So I sat and watched the football last night. Watched Rangers getting gubbed 7-1 from Liverpool. So any live Premiership matches that are on that Chinese channel broadcasts them. Yeah, I think they were possibly lined up to play each other on the one-loss side. That was mentioned last night. I don't know whether that has come true, but I think that's what they were talking about. So 2 racks all. And Bedhead will need to dig into this 5 ball. Somewhere over on the left side of the table will do fine. And he'll have the angle to come back up for the 7. Oh, he's overcooked this big time. He has overcooked that by a country mile. And he can't get to the potting angle. He can't get enough of that. He's cutting it to the rail. Well, this gives Hairpig an easy save. Now he has to get this and enough of it to push it along towards that 8 ball and get the pace in the cue ball to get up by the 10 and 7. So the line is there, and there's absolutely no reason he can't get there. And that looks pretty good to me.
Let's watch a replay.
That's what the doctor ordered. So now Bedhead has no extensions left. Good hit, but he's left the combo. Well, I think this has got to be delicate. That 6 ball might leak away. He's played it well. Well, this has to go 2 rails, and he has to watch the side pocket scratch here. He's going to go long rail, back over to the long rail, or head in that direction. Well, he's trying to just do it by 1 rail. He's leaving himself on the shorter side of the 7. Now, he's already missed a shot like this. And he's overdone it again. And these errors, sooner or later, are going to get more severe punishment if Bedhead can warm up. But he's dead straight on this 7, and it's going to have to be a Bedhead cut in this 8 ball, I think. I don't think he dare try anything spectacular here. I mean, he's just got to get in here and try and kill it. Oh, he's trying to come back, and that's pretty good. But these errors from Hairpig on these cross-table cuts, he's had 2 of them, and he's failed miserably on them. And this time, it's definite punishment, because the break now goes back to Bedhead with a 3-2 lead in this race to 13. Two ball is tracking, decides against it, and look at where the 10 ball is. 10 ball right over the side pocket, and I don't think Hairpig can get enough of this 1 ball. No, he can't. Well, he's got to be careful where he pushes this 1 ball. He cannot leave this 1 ball short. He has to get this 1 ball right up the table here. He can't have it anywhere near that 10 ball. And that's a good shot. And now, if Bedhead can't get the hit in the 1, Hairpig's going to have an easy 1-10 combo for the rack. So the most important thing is that Bedhead hits this 1 ball. Where it goes, it doesn't matter. He just has to move it somewhere. And he's got that part of it done, although he's left the long pot on for Hairpig. 2 ball is tight near the 8 ball from the angle he's got in the 1. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, he's got loads of room to get off that short rail and back into the table. He's trying to just hold it. And again, he's been tentative, trying to do things tentatively. And he's missed the 1 ball because of it. He wants to loosen up pretty sharpish here, Hairpig, or this match is suddenly going to take on the wrong type of script than maybe what was in his own mind as to how it was going to go, because these errors are far too many. And Hairpig trying, not Hairpig, Bedhead trying to get back to have some shot in the 3 ball onto this 10. 8 balls in the way a bit. And because of that, he's drawn it into the pocket, and there's the gift. Well, I'll tell you something. It's a gift for Hairpig, but the 2 ball is hung in the pocket. Now, what does he do? Does he just try and get down the bottom of the table here so he can at least cut the 3 onto the 10? Because the 4 ball's no good. The 4 ball's going to have to be a 4-5 combo. I think he'd be far better trying to get just down the bottom of the table here so he can cut the 3 onto the 10. It's not difficult. And I think if he's trying any other idea, trying to run the table, I don't think that's wise. Now, I mean, that's fine. It'd be far easier playing the billiard, believe it or not. It'd be far easier playing the billiard off the 3. There's no way you can miss this billiard. Just all you do is let the cue ball roll out onto the 10. He's going for the cut. Looks like it, yeah. And it just got in. So back all square. Welcome to Paul. Well, I don't know whether you were aware, Paul, but VP4's been down for like 7 hours. Almost. It feels like it. 2 days in a row the server's been busted. And if I was Steve, I'd be on the phone to somebody. I presume he is. I would have been on the phone ripping their head off their shoulders, so I would. I'm sure it was like just after 9 this morning it went down the pan. 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. It's like 5 hours, or about 3.5 hours. I think it's a bit. It just seems longer than that then. But it's no good. That's 2 days in a row. Welcome to Larry. Oh, it's squirting out. It's just squirting out. I mean, that was again a big target to get in behind that 10 and 2. So it's a poor safety again. And the only saving grace here is the 2 ball isn't going anywhere fast where it's sitting. But Hairpig could find himself in trouble. And I don't think this is going to work out too good. That is not good at all from Bedhead. Yeah, I think there should be a new rule. I think the new rule is that every VP4 player should have shooter's pool installed. So that when the VP4 server goes down and we're playing one of these big tournaments, we can go and set the match up in shooter's pool and play it. And then they can update the bracket afterwards once the server goes back up. I think that's the solution. Well, there's a lot of untidiness going on here in this first 6 racks or so. Neither player has settled down. And, you know, we're all sitting here getting closer to the start of the match with me just trying to join the lobby. And suddenly the 2 guys have been caught off guard because all of a sudden I got into the lobby. I was the first one in, and then it was a rush to see if anybody else could get into the lobby as well. Well, we laughed. We laughed when Shooter's Pool I mean, they had a genuine reason for the server to be down because the place where their servers were went on fire and burnt to the ground. And so Shooter's Pool was down for like 2 weeks or more at that time. I mean, that was a genuine reason. This carry on that's happened the last 2 days is just no good. I mean, what the most important thing you want from a game server is reliability. So, 3 ball has been called. I thought he was playing a 1-3 combo there. I was looking at the chat and then I looked across thinking that was the 1 ball, but it was a 9. I thought it was going to be a 1-3 combo there. But the 1's already gone. Well, that's exactly what can happen. But Hairpig needs to cut out these unforced errors. Because you would think sooner or later Bedhead's going to start putting things together. Well, this is just going to be a long cut on the 7. I don't think he dare try and get too far up the table. He's put loads of inside on it. In fact, maybe a bit too much. Good afternoon to Interchange X. First time I've seen you since that tragedy the other night. So now he's a good shot off this 9. And once again, that side pocket is in the way. It's just a bit annoying. So he's played the big stunt. Didn't dare putting anything else on that cue ball. Well, that's enough to give you a migraine. What happened? I couldn't believe, and I was. Don't forget, we were sitting commentating in the match. What I couldn't believe is that I didn't know it was 5-0. I didn't know it was 6-2. I didn't know it was 12-6 at one point. And that's after sitting watching the whole damn match. So Bedhead has the lead, but comes up dry again. And this angle that Hairpig's got is far too much. He's going to have to get the pace in this 2 ball, and the cue ball's going to leak away up the table. Now, he's tried to be cute on a couple of occasions here, and it ain't worked. And this time, he's played the right shot. And it needs to bounce and give him a wee angle. And that's enough to be working with. Well, the position the Hairpig was in, all he could do is just play on. I think he'd pretty much not given up, but I think he'd resigned himself that sooner or later you were going to go over the line. And where's this cue ball going?
Where's the cue ball going?
Well, it ain't going in. And he's going to have to just roll this 4 in and leave the cut on the 5. He doesn't want to do too much with this. He doesn't want to try and move the cue ball over to the left too much. He could end up hooked. This is not easy. That 5 ball, I think, is as good as frozen to the rail. Yep, this is not easy. This can easily punch off the rail. But it's held its line. Now a bump in the 9 would do nicely.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
I don't know whether he's got enough of the 6 though. Yes, he has. Now, of course, we have a major problem. The major problem being that 8 ball is way too tight past the 10, and it's asking a lot to get really good on that 8 ball. Well, this isn't good for a billiard. It's no good for a billiard, so it's very, very thin to try and clip that 8 and still catch the 10, but there's barely enough room for this 8 ball to go in. He's played it well. He's played it well, and it's just held on. So we're going to be back all square. So into rack number 9. Hairpig breaking off. Two ball has gone in, and he has a shot in the 1. The angle on it is not great. If he tries to get a bit cocky here and stun to the left and still have a shot in the 3, he could end up behind the 6. He's trying to come back to maybe leave the 3 in the side, but I don't know that the angle's great for either. He's trying to get into the gap. Well, running into the 3 was never going to work out great. But the cut is on. He doesn't have to do anything with the cue ball other than pot this. He'll be on the 4. So just a little dink. And now he has to make the decision. I think he's already made the decision that when he pots this 5, and obviously he still has to then get on the 6, it's going to have to be the 7-8 combo. But he's gone a bit too far on this 5. It just means you get more work to do with the cue ball, and there's a danger here in the line that he's taken off this cue ball. He wants to get into the cue ball so it goes sharper around the angles. And once again, he's got there on the spot in the 6 ball, but again, he cannot be missing shots like that. And Bedhead's got the same problem. He has to get himself good on this 6. But this is another rack that's got away almost here for Hairpig. Well, I don't think he could have lined it up much better. That's as good as he's going to be on this 7 and 8 combo. Welcome to pot, man. Oh no, he's going to go for the combo because the combo's pretty much set. That's a sensible thing to do. There's no way he's missing this. But Hairpig's got to be kicking himself because he's missed already far too many pots. And that's what I said in the previous streams. If your intention is to stay in this tournament, when you're up against these guys, you've got to be sticking the racks away. It's the only way you're going to apply the pressure. It's the only way you're going to put a doubt in their mind. But if you keep coming up to a certain point and then you can't get the job done, you're pretty much going to be doomed by the end of the day, unless Bedhead keeps putting in the odd mistake himself. It's the only way you're going to stay in the match. So Bedhead has still to get daylight though between the two. It's always been the one rack in it. But the 3 ball gets kissed in off the 7. He's got no shot in the 1 other than a far-fetched combo in the 8 ball or a bank. And that bank I don't think is great either, because again the angle's not great for getting the cue ball out of the way, I don't think. Let's have a look. Maybe it is. Maybe it's my eyes. He seems to think the line's there. It looks as if it's going. Oh, he played it perfect. Excellent. What do I know?
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
Now the 4 ball up table. I'm not really sure what he was trying there. I think he's just looking to duck away, obviously. He just looked to drop onto the rail next to the 6 ball and leave that 4 ball behind the 9. Well, 5 ball is in the way. If he was to go up to the middle of the table, he'd need lots of right English. And he'd probably have to hope to get it off the long rail and hit the 4 going that way. I'm not sure what he tried there, but I don't think he hit the 1. That was strange. I've got no clue what Hairpig was thinking there. Well, the good news is the VP4 servers have been up for an hour. The bad news for Hairpig is that if everything goes according to plan here, Bedhead's going to have a 2-rack lead for the first time in the match. Nice angle to drop over by the 7. If he overhits this, the scratch is on in the side pocket maybe. He's coming down below the side pocket. So, of course, it looks all too easy to get good on the 9 ball from this 8. There's loads of room. And it would be a fail if he can't do that. Well, he didn't want to be here to play this 9 ball, I'll tell you that. So it looks as if he's going straight up the table. I don't believe he's going to go inside the 10. Yeah, straight up the table. But you see where he ended up leaving himself. The best result is what's just happened there. He's left nothing easy at all here for Hairpig. This is really ugly. I mean, you need to play this maybe with a bit of left on it and just hope you get that 9 ball completely flush to cut it in. I mean, it's off the rail, but this is horrible. And he's playing it with left. Yeah, so difficult. And with the English on that cue ball, it's fizzed back into line for the bedhead cut. I don't think he had any other choice there, Hairpig. Welcome to Run Out Rob. So it looks very likely now that Bedhead's finally going to get away from the grasp of Hairpig. And in all honesty, with the amount of mistakes that Hairpig's put in, it's about time that Bedhead got a more substantial lead in this match. So now Hairpig's under pressure on his break. Trailing by 2, 6 ball has gone in top corner. 2 ball follows it in. And he's got one of these cutbacks in the 1 again, and he's failed in a lot of these cut shots so far. Not only that though, it's not the cut that's the problem, it's making sure that he's still got a sight in the 3 ball. Now he certainly will be, he should be over the right side of the table, but it might even be too much of an angle in this 1 ball. The cue ball might be the pace that he has to hit the pot at, and to get the draw to work. Well, that's excellent.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
That's an excellent shot. Now, the only other thing is don't hook yourself behind the 10. That's a good recovery. There's still problems ahead though. The problem will be off this 5 ball to the 7. And there's no reason he can't get a half decent angle on this 5 ball where he might come over to the right hand side. Well, the assumption is he's going to come over to the right hand side because he's no way he's potting it past the 8. Now, how's that angle look? Oh, he's absolutely bolt straight. He can pinch a bit into the corner. The problem is, though, he's going to have to juice the cue ball up. And he has to avoid the 9. And he's avoided the 9. He's bumped the 8. And now it gets uglier. Well, he's got to let it run loose. I mean, he could just dink it in and run up to the side pocket, but again, how's the line? I think the line's fine as far as that goes. He's not going to scratch, but if he just hits it soft and lets the cue ball run up, he's way up to the bedhead cut again. Well, he's bound to be having a shot of some kind on the 9. What that'll be, we don't know. I don't think it'd be good to run. Oh, he's completely taking his eye off that. And again, he's not finding the line here in a lot of these Hairpig. And that's another one that should have been on the board. Well, I think that was certainly adventurous on the 8 ball. Because this is going to cost them big time again. And now the gap, well, looking lightly. I say looking lightly. Bedhead missed a cut shallower than this into the side earlier on in the match. And Bedhead has got the cut, but he hasn't got the pace. So as the bank into the corner, and Hairpig, fingers crossed, he's going to have a chance back at the table here if Bedhead can't put this away, and he hasn't, but he's missed it in the right side. He's hit it to the long rail, it's gone to the short rail, and now Bedhead has got Hairpig in dire straits here. He's got to go for the up and down bank. Oh, he's going for the reverse bank. I think I'd be going for the up and down bank. That looks better to me. Might be a case of 6.5 a dozen. Let's look at the gap off the rail. So it's coming down into this left-hand corner pocket at the bottom of the screen. And that's not going to get there. And disaster. So it's a gift in the end. And now it's a 3-rack gap. And Bedhead's break, though, is dry. And again, he's left nothing for Bedhead. Now, this is a delicate little touch shot. You've got to have every faith that you can get the pace of this right to try and dink in behind the 10 and push the 1 back up the table. And he's played it well. And Bedhead just pushed the 10 ball. Now, he's not changed the table as it is, but if we look at where the 3 ball is, it's a perfectly simple 3 billiard off the 3 ball to pot the 5. That's not a problem. I don't know that that Hairpig wants to be interfering with that 3 and 5 ball and trying to play it in off the 5. I don't know whether that's maybe going to be a good move. I think he should be potting the 3, the 1 ball, and potting the 2, and then just playing a little billiard, because you know that that's a definite. You know, as long as you can get on it, well, we'll see where this rolls out if that's what he does. Well, he can consider himself lucky there, because another inch of that on that cue ball, and he wasn't seeing enough of the 2. And it's still going to be difficult to get into this 2 ball and get it on a line for a good sight in the 3. And that's the problem. He's running away. Well, now you think about it. Had he left that 3 ball where it was with the 5, he would still be at the table and he would still have a pot on. So the commentator's eye was right at the end of the day. I'm justified in what I said. He should have left that where it was. And because then you know, see, when you do something like that and you leave the billiard in the 3 and the 5, then you know exactly what you're doing. You know where you have to be able to play that. Now, having not left it there, having disturbed it, he's now got himself hooked. Well, this is a hindrance here for Bedhead. Hampered over the 9. This is horrible. He's called the bank up and down, but he's only really looking for cover. And he hasn't got there, but again, the problem for Hairpig is that he's not going to have a great deal of control over the cue ball, because he can only hit a third of the 3 ball. And he's got no real idea, let alone where the cue ball's finishing and where the 3 ball's going to end up. It's going to come around, and depending on the pace he hits it, it's going to come around the 2 rails. Well, he's thinned it. And I think he's got away with it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when that 3 and 5 were sitting over the side pocket, they should have been left well alone. It shouldn't have been touched. he then knew exactly what he was going to be doing had he done that. And having taken the risk to break them open, he then obviously didn't roll into shape in the next ball. But that's a good safety from Bedhead. That's got Hairpig in knots here. Because again, that 9 ball's in the way. And plus Hairpig then had to just rush to play a shot because he'd run out of his extensions. So now Bedhead is in command with ball in hand. And while he's at ball in hand, I'm going to be back in a minute or two. Hang on. What did I get wrong there? What was it I got wrong? Because I can't remember. This is again looking at the chat and then looking back at the bloody screen. Oh well. I got back in time just to curse Bedhead. He's hung the 10. No, I had to go and get my bottle of water. That's why there was a little bit of silence. Welcome to Vinci Oz. So Hairpig got out of jail there. Couple of balls in the break as well. And nothing doing in the 1 ball. Well, nothing easy, put it that way. So he's looking for a spot in the long grass, I think, with a cue ball. And that is a pretty good effort.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
That's a good shot. Got the pace and got the line. Well, it's Vincios. That's how you've got it typed out now. And a good kick from Bedhead.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
Excellent response. Oh, wait a minute. Low ball not hit first though. Forgetting it was the 1 ball. Well, another bonus for Hairpig. And suddenly he's back to within 1. It should be Vince's. It's Vince Says. If anybody spells the name Vincez, is the Z silent then? So it's just Vince. You know, one of these silent Zs. And Bedhead's break comes up dry as well. And suddenly there's a strong possibility, and I'm not saying it with a great deal of confidence, but there is a strong possibility here that Hairpig could find himself back in level terms. I mean, the problem ball, if there's going to be any, well, I've already just done it. And again, he's taking his eye off the pot to get himself onto the 3-ball. Welcome to Mooncake. Vinny, yeah, that's a good name. Vincento. Vince, not Vinces, there's no H in it, it's just Vinces. You know what I'll do? I'll just keep calling it the same thing as I've always done. Oh, where's this 6-ball ending up? Well, it's ending up blocking the 4. And the 5-ball does go past the 7. But of course it goes into both side pockets as well though. Well, the distance is there. The bank is on past the 8-ball. And so far nothing has been called. But the bank is on. Now he's looking to thin edge this 4. That's too thick. Too thick. And Bedhead has an angle that would enable him to manoeuvre the cue ball. And it looks as if the line that he's taking would be possibly heading towards the 5. That's if he's going forward. It's taking a line towards the 5, so he's going to have some sort of shot at the pot, which he has got. And he's just got to totally ignore that 7-ball. And he's caught the 7 by just a hair's breadth. He's caught the 7. And what's more, he's left a shot in the 5. So Hairpig, with another go, having already missed the 2-ball when he should have ran out. And this pace looks good. That's perfect. Well, it's 6 1/2 here. Bedhead's put in more than enough errors himself to keep Hairpig in this and give Hairpig enough opportunities to keep putting these racks on the board. But that wasn't the best of shots you're ever going to see. That was really poor. And now he's going to have to try and tuck that onto the short rail, get distance. And that is not bad. I mean, that's still really tough. There's a tiny edge of the 8-ball showing. And he's called it. And he's going for the big blast, because he's going to have to blast this. Yeah, really, really difficult. Now, how's his luck? If it bounces clean, it's going to be Hairpig's. So it looks as if just follow through for the 9 into the side. No, he's trying to stun. He had enough angle. That'll do. I didn't think he had enough angle, but he's got the line. And we are going to be 7 racks apiece. So Hairpig's already made one comeback in this match. He doesn't want to be making another one. That should be the first objective here, is that he doesn't throw it all away. And Hairpig's break has come up dry, and the one ball is stone dead, I think. I don't think that's anything like a half decent bank. Oh, I hope he doesn't just roll onto it, because we're going to be here for the rest of the afternoon with this. Plays the push out. Hairpig trying to dink and use the 2 ball, I think. No, he's taking the bait. Well, he's called the bank. I don't know whether he's going to play this 100% or whether he's just trying to dink. Yes, he has played it. Well, I think if he thin cuts this one, he's running into the 7. And then you would have to think he would still have some sort of shot in the 2. But what's the point? The point is that look at where the 3 ball is. So he's brushed off the 7. He's on the 2. And he's got a path off this 2 ball to go forward to the short rail. I mean, he can play the big draw as well, like it looks as if he's doing, just so that he can see the 3 ball. That's all that's on here. And he can't brush the 3 past the 5 because the 5's in the way. So he's got to push it to the rail very delicately. Oh, he's brushed it into the 5 and used it as a stopper, but not good cover. Well, Jason shows. What is that? A one-loss side match he's playing at the moment, is it? Oh, that's a good shot from Bedhead. Well, there won't be any problem potting a 4. But Hairpig's, again, got to be wary of where he's putting this 3 ball. He's got to, I mean, he could try and bank it up behind the 6 and 5, but he's got to get the pace on this so good. If he's going for the thin one, he's not hit a thin one as thin as he needs to. And he's trying to get into the corner, and he's got there, and that was well done. Well, it's a race to 9. It's not the one-loss side, so he's not out of the tournament yet. So he'll go to the one-loss side because it's a race to 8 in the one-loss side, and he'll have another match later tonight or later today, depending where you are in the world. So 2 rails, possibly 3 rails, 1, 2. And the hit is good now. How's the spin? Well, the spin's working the other way. So again, Bedhead has a chance. Now let's have a quick look at the 5 ball. The 5 ball goes in the side clean. And where the 4 ball is, makes it pretty easy to get good on the 5. Now what the hell's he done here? He's okay. And again, unless he does something a bit more with this cue ball, he's going to be catching the 6 ball when he plays the cut. on this 5. So he's jacking up just to get out a wee bit, I think. Oh dear, that's a disaster. He's hit that the wrong side and ended up drawing straight behind the 10. And as I said at the beginning of this rack, I think, I said, you know, he's had one comeback in the match to get it back all square, and now he's looking like giving it away. Oh, is it the last 64? Oh, he's definitely out then. Who is it he's playing? Did you say who he was playing? Well, he's either watching it on Facebook or YouTube, because it's on both of those platforms free at the moment. This is the last day you'll get it free. It then goes on to Sky tomorrow. So if you go to Matchroom or Lee Van Corteza, if you go to Matchroom on YouTube, you'll have it live on there. If you go to Matchroom on Facebook, you'll have a table live on there as well, although one of them only has commentary. So this is a bit, this is just a wee bit dicey, this, because he wants to make sure he gets the top side of the 8 ball, and he's avoided the scratch. The pace is good, and he'll settle for that. So this match has been on for an hour and 20 minutes already, and we are just over halfway. Back across the table for the 10. And so Hairpig is going to have to start all over again. He's now chasing Bedhead, and the break stays with Bedhead though. Now, was that dry? Yes, it was. Dry, and a dodgy cut and the one into the side. Well, in fact, I'll tell you something. The reason I say a dodgy cut is he's nailed to the 3. So he's not playing anything there other than the push. And the 4 ball prevents the bank. Now, is Bedhead going to be tempted by the cut into the side and the fact that the cue ball's going to come around and still have some sort of shot in the 2? Yeah, he's went for it. And again, this is dead straight. Now, if he runs forward, he could be running into trouble here, Pig. He doesn't want to try and pinch too much of this if he's going to go forward. Yeah, he's digging in now. That's about the best he could do, is just leave the cut. Yeah, a bit like yourself, Vin says. A bit like yourself. Well, Hairpig has got the obvious bank to entice him to try and stay at the table. But this cue ball has got to roll as well. If he wants another shot, if this goes in, because the 4 ball is not sitting great either. Oh, that's perfect if he doesn't scratch, and that is really unlucky. Well, everything was good about that shot. He had the pace right to get on the 4, but that side pocket was on track. Now that's how is it? He's got a nice little angle. That's fine. Well, Hairpig is going to have to do it all again because Bedhead should be 2 in front again. Well, you haven't been in a big tournament. I mean, you're talking about Cortesa not been in away from big tournaments. The last one you were in was the one that you played in. You've not been in one since. I would call that long enough. That's at least 2 years ago, if not 3. This is rolling at a nice pace. Just drop the 9 in, 10 into the opposite corner pocket. And Hairpig is running out of racks here. It's a 2 rack gap. But he has first chance to remedy that. It's on his break. And needs a ball and a shot. That's all he's asking for. My ball goes in bottom corner. 1 ball ain't going anywhere. It's blocked off of the 6. And it's going to be a 1 ball rack this. Whoever gets the 1 should be out. The only issue I would suggest would be the 2 ball. Because it's blocked by the 6. Oh, I'm not convinced that was great. No, that 10 ball looks dead. Let's have a look. And that's almost a disaster, I think. Let's have a quick look. Well, hang on a minute. I've lost my VP4. Well, it looks as if it's going to the jaw. Is it going to catch enough of the jaw to go in? It looks as if it's borderline, but no, he's played it sweet. And that was a sore one. And suddenly it's 3 racks again. And Bedhead is just 3 away from the next round. And I think I tempted fate. I think I jinxed Hairpig when he got it to 7-all, because the one thing I said was he doesn't want to make a second comeback in this match. And that's exactly where he is. But for that ball to end up lined up on the 10 for the combo was a bit painful. Yeah, it went in perfect. He made the adjustment required. And so now Hairpig, he's not quite at last chance saloon, but he's at the stage now where he can't miss. And no sooner have I said that than that's exactly what he's done. And look at the table. This rack is over, and I think this is the point of no return for Hairpig, because I cannot see Bedhead giving this up, provided he can take this out, which he should do every day of the week. Oh, that's what I was. That's what I was going to say to you guys. I had been doing a bit of testing in a room with the break in 9-ball while I've had the US Open live stream on my second monitor. And what I was doing was I was syncing my break at the same time as the guy on the stream was breaking to check the rollout of the balls after the break. And the default setting in tournament settings in VP4, the table speed is 28. And I set it, the first thing I did was set it to 31 and test that. And when I set it to 31 and tested the break, the rollout was a bit longer, just a fraction longer than what the rollout was in the TV tables on the stream. So I notched it down to 30. So the table speed, I set it up from 28 to 30, and then I tested a number of breaks again in sync with what was happening on the TV on the either YouTube or Facebook. And 28 seems to be the speed that VP4 table tournament settings should be at. 30 should be the setting, because I've always said to Steve that the tables run a bit slow if you compare them with the tournament tables on the live streams. And 30 should be the setting. And then the ball will roll out from a break very similar and very close to what you see on the live streams. Well, there you go. There's the gift. Come to the party, says Bedhead. I don't want this match to be over. Yeah, so to finish off what I was saying about the table speed, what I think you guys should be doing is that when you're playing in a challenge room and you're playing 10 ball or 9 ball, for a short period of time, I think what you should do is go into the advanced settings and set the table speed to 30 and see what you think. Because I think that's where it should be. You know, it's not a night and day difference, but it is on a very good comparison with what these guys are playing at that you're watching on the live streams. Well, again, Hairpig's missed an absolute sitter over the pocket. But he's got away with it. Or was he playing the pot? We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I think he was playing the pot. And mind you, I didn't go down to look at how that one ball was over the side pocket, but it seemed to me that it wasn't difficult. So you think the table's too fast? On the contrary. Well, it's certainly not playing at the speed the pros are playing at. I can tell you that. I've tested it enough to see the rollout of the balls. But again, the one point I would also like to make is that the rollout should be a wee bit faster, considering that the break queues have been reduced. So that would be like a compensation for it, slightly. And I might agree with you, Cobra, that we should have four settings, four default settings for VP4. You should have that one where the table speed's at 30, and then you have tournament. Why don't we have championship settings where the table speed's 30, then tournament settings, then normal settings, and then numpty settings? I think that's what we should have. Give people what they want. Give people the choice. Well, these tables in VP4 will never be broken in. no matter how much you play on them. So Hairpig has to sit and watch. And this is dead straight in the 5. He's just going to stop it. Well, he's let it run. Oh, in fact, no, he's not. He's went for the safety. I don't know that 9 would hit. No, it won't hit the 7 and go in, because it's not lined up for the kick. This 9 ball, it's going to run and certainly hit the 7, but it would. The 7's too far away for the pocket, and he's not called the 9, so he's just looking to dib dab. But what he's done now is, again, this is the second time Hairpig has left a combo, and that's a disaster again. That's the second time Hairpig has played a safety and left a combo, and this has got to go in every day. But is Bedhead going to have a shot in the 5? Well, he's went for the combo, and this time it didn't go. It actually went straight to the 7. Well, why not have 4 settings then? You know, why not have a compromise? Add a championship setting, have a tournament setting, and have the championship settings for events like this. That's what I say. It's a brilliant idea. Everybody get behind me on it. So Bedhead plays the bank. Now, what's he going to have to conjure up here? Well, it's going to be the cut in the 6. I can't believe he's cutting it that way. This is asking for trouble, surely. And don't call me Shirley. Oh, he's missed a 9. That was excellent. He had to miss the collision there. And just a stun in the 7. And he'll be on the 9. And then 10 into the side. And the gap is back to 3 for the 3rd time. Well, he had a wee bit more angle for comfort, so he just let it run. He's finished bolt straight in the 10 for 11-8. And again, it was in Hairpig's break. Oh, is Pagaline going to have a run this year, I wonder? Well, the break is dry. And Hairpig coming to the table with not an awful lot to invite him. I mean, the cut is on in the 1, but again, it is tight past the 2. If you look at it that way, it looks a lot more open. And he's played that well. That was excellent. Now, the shot. Oh, there's this cue ball finishing up. He wants to be. Oh, he's really hampered now. I was thinking ahead there. I was thinking about how he gets onto this 5 ball, because he would have wanted to maybe play the 5 ball where he was bumping the 9 and the 10 and still having a shot down the rail in the 6, but he might not get there. And he hasn't got into the cue ball enough, but he's still got the cut. But now the cue ball's running loose. And at worst here, he should have a half decent safety. I mean, he shouldn't be leaving Bedhead anything if he can't get good on this 5. And he's went all out for the cut in the 4. And Bedhead's now almost in this situation. If he can get on the 5, he's got to try and get a bump onto the 5, onto the 9 and 10, and still have a shot in the 6. Well, I don't know that Bedhead had a slight angle in the 5. He could have done with maybe a wee bit more on it, but we'll never know. So it's now back to Hairpig to try and deal with this situation up table. And this ain't going to be it. Because if he cuts that into the side, he's missing the 9, I think. And if he cuts it with any pace, he's running back out into the table. What's he doing? Oh, he's jacking up. Well, he's got to see the 7, whatever happens. And he needs to see enough of the 7 to be able to do something positive with it. And he's overcut it again. Well, I don't know what the entry fee was. It been about, I don't know, about $250 or something to get in it. I can't remember. But you know, if you have the entry fee and you pay your fee, you get in it. As far as I know, I don't know what your qualifications have to be. Oh, that's a dead set combo. And this time it's Bedhead that's committed the mistake. The 6 ball's rolled out onto the 10. The only problem for Bedhead, for Hairpig, is the angle he's having to play this at. But if he's had a good look at it, you would think it's got to go in, and it simply has to go in. And it hasn't. He's overcut it. But he's left it reasonably safe, I say. Reasonably safe. Oh, that's not worked out right. He was trying to bump that, I think, to the short rail, and he's exposed the cut angle in the 6. Oh, it's wiped its feet. Well, he missed one like this earlier on in the match here, Pig. But something exactly the same as this he missed, cutting into the side. And he's brushed the 8. And now he's no choice. It's got to be the bank. I mean, it's sitting pretty damn good for a bank shot. Oh, it's gone narrow. Well, does Bedhead jack up, or does he let this cue ball run? If he's jacking up, he makes the shot more difficult, but he holds the cue ball for a guaranteed shot in the 9, and that's what he's doing. He's played it well, and he should be on the hill. The 10 ball is well comfortably off the rail. We'll have a quick look at the brackets and just see how things are shaping up. Well, what was your prediction, Cobra? 13-7, wasn't it? That's not far off the mark. It was almost spot on. So, Bedhead on the hill. And Hairpig's break. Dry again, but no shot for Bedhead other than the push out. Well, that's going to be given back. I don't know what Bedhead's thinking was there, because it's obvious he was going to be put back in. Now this could end up getting a bit messy down here. He's trying to dink behind the 6. Well, this is crying out for a 3 foul here from Bedhead. Well, this would be. He's called the 6 ball. Well, it's an excellent hit. An excellent hit. And that 2-6 is a dead set combo as well. Now, is Hairpig going to pot the one, just roll up the. If he rolls too far up the table, he's going too far left. He's still fine. He's got to come back out of the cue ball and miss the 4, or stay there. That'll do. And look where the 3 ball is. He's got to watch this side pocket. And he's well away from that. And now he's got to get bottom side of the 5. I can't believe he's wanting to play the 5 up that direction. He's tried to get straight on the 4. I think he's still got enough to work with here and just get himself down the table. But of course, the next problem off this 5 ball is where the 7 is. And it looks as if he's going short side of the 7. Or can it go past the 8? Yes, it does. There's plenty of room. What am I talking about? Plenty of room. But he's probably going to end up going in the short side, though, because the angle he's got in the 5. Nope, he's taking his medicine. Now, again, is he going to try and nurse this in and come up the table and play the cut? It looks likely. Well, this 9 ball is tight. This 9 ball is frozen. And the cue ball taking a nice line. Needs to keep going just to make it more comfortable. But of course now, if this goes in, there's nothing Hairpig can do. It'll be Bedhead breaking for the match. So he survives one. And the 3 ball goes in. 3 ball has gone in, 1 ball will cut, but this is dodgy. Is he banking it up? I don't know whether, I don't think it banks past the 9. It looks as if he's playing the cut. No, he's banking it up the table and calling the 9, but I think he's more interested in getting decent cover here behind the 2, and that's exactly what he's done. But how's the pace? And that will do. Hairpig can't get to the 1. And all of these balls, I think, are available. The 7 goes as well. And Hairpig has got to get this safe. He's going for the jump over the edge of the 2. Well, he got everything right there, and it's going to be a missed call. Now, what does Bedhead do? He's dodgy over the 10 ball, and he's going entirely the wrong direction from the 4 ball if he goes into the side, so he's going to play the long cut to hold for the 4. And that's catching a knuckle. But again, he's pretty much got away with it. I mean, this will cut in, but you've got to go to the rail and just catch an edge in that and no more to assist that 2 ball into the pocket. Yeah, he's got it full in the face, and that could well be Hairpig's last shot. And really, the first major problem here is from the 4 to the 5. And he wants to get top side of the 6 to be dropping it into the left side pocket and drop down onto this 7. Oh, this might be in the knuckles. Would you believe it? He is blocked out. And Hairpig lives again, does he? Well, I think he's a bit ambitious trying this. Yeah, it was never on. And it's strange what can happen on a pool table in real life and in VP4, because Hairpig's been handed a big lifeline, but is he going to hold his nerve? He knows he has to get top side of that 6. He doesn't want to be taking that long. He wants to be dropping into the side, and there's a very narrowish window to get good on that 6 ball. And that's the danger with this shot. He doesn't want to run too far through. He could hook himself. Well, he's staying low, so he's now cutting it in. And this is I mean, the way this cue ball's going, he's finishing sort of here with a cut in the 7. Unless he does a lot with the cue ball. And he's checked it up, and that's excellent. If it keeps rolling, that's a superb shot.
Let's watch the replay.
Loads of English to straighten that cue ball when it hit the rail and hold a line to be somewhere very decent on this 7-ball. But that was a good controlled shot by Hairpig to stay alive. Well, he's fine. That angle's no problem. He's just going to bring the cue ball out into a line in the 10-ball. Just let it go off the rail and out. Well, I'll tell you in a minute what Bedhead said there. So the breaks with Hairpig, he's 2 behind. That shot that Bedhead had where he was in the corner pocket there, where he was in the jaws with the cue ball, he's typed bug, and Hairpig's typed a question mark, not really understanding what he was talking about. In fact, I don't understand what he was talking about, but he said pixels showing a gap on those corner hook shots, but you hit it anyway. Bedhead was convinced he could get past that tip on the corner pocket when clearly the cue ball was pretty much against it. I think it was an optical delusion that he had. Anyway, Hairpig's break has given him the 1 ball. He's got nothing easy in the 2, but I'll tell you something, that 2 ball needs to slow up, and it has just slowed up enough. Vince says, I would like the chat messages can be shown in the stream. What you mean? What are you talking about? Put all the titles and everything halfway up the screen so that it blocks the table so that you can read the chat. Aye, and that is true. Most of the chat crap that goes on in matches is stub. The kick from Hairpig there, and well, the only saving grace for Hairpig here is that Bedhead can't push through in the 2 ball because the 3 ball's in the line for that, and he's got to put a wee bit of thought into this. He's calling. He's really playing a snooker. That's all he's doing, and that's excellent. And that has got Hairpig back to the wall. Well, the good thing is Stubbs not going to be saying anything for a few hours. He's been silenced. Took care of that. Well, I said it before in the previous rack. I can't remember what rack it was, but this could again be Hairpig's last shot. Well, that was a great effort. I mean, that was really difficult. 4 rails to try and get the hit on that 2 ball. And is Bedhead going for the 2-10 combo for the match? He's had a quick look. But, well, I don't know that it wouldn't be worth having a go at that. Well, he's got faith in his ability to run out here, and there's no reason why he shouldn't, because the balls are all sitting good. And he's expecting to do it, and I mean, that sends the right message to your opponent. I mean, there's many a player would have went for the 210 combo. Albanario would have probably went for the 210 combo. Because he's got a terrible habit of putting combos like that in. But Bedhead's made his choice. Now it's going to be the main shot from the 6 back to the 7. And then that should settle it. And we are just on the brink of 2 hours for this match. Now that's gone pretty straight. But he can go forward. He might want to go forward with a tiny tad of inside left just to bring the cue ball back into a decent line. He could do that. There's nothing to stop him. He doesn't want to become down on top of the 7 ball. But I don't know whether he actually needed to do it. He's actually played that not too bad. Let's have a look. And the angle in the 7's fine. And this is all over. Well, it was a lot closer than Cobra's prediction, but I think that was part and parcel to the amount of errors going on in the match. But if Bedhead had been on any particular form today, this match could and should have been over maybe a lot sooner. How does that look? That's fine. You cut it into the side. Cue ball back over this side for the 10 into the corner pocket. Not a problem. So well done to Bedhead. And Hairpig has run his race. He's had battling performances, but unfortunately those errors will find you out at the end of the day. And that's what's happened ultimately. Far too many mistakes from Hairpig has cost him. And when you think about it, it's cost him 3 or 4 racks at least in the match. And it could have been a whole different story. But he doesn't want to be looking back and thinking about that because he'll probably get depressed. But it's a good win for Bedhead. And Bedhead will admit he wasn't finding the spot, but he did more than enough to come through in the end. Yeah, nothing to write home about there, says Bedhead in the chat, and that's probably as true a statement as you're going to hear. Quick look at the schedule. The next matches now, we've got 2 on Saturday. Saturday morning if you're east coast of the States, because that would be maybe 9 AM, but it's 2 PM in the afternoon on Saturday. We've got Mr. Bill and Cheeky Chico in a one-loss side match. And that is going to cross over with a match with Popman and Eddie. Fast Eddie and Popman play at 3:30 on Saturday afternoon. So we'll be moving over to that match once the first one's finished. And then finally, for the time being at the moment, we have the big match next Wednesday at 8 PM. And that will be Albanario and Spectre Dawn on that winner's side. And that's where we stand. Well, for any latecomers, if there are still any out there, VP4 was down 2 days in a row. It was down for about 4 hours today. We don't know what's going on with the servers, but thank God it just got up and running in time for us to get this match in. So I'm going to go and get dinner. There will be no more live streams until the weekend, you would think. Other than Friday night 9-ball, I hope to be there for that. There won't be any live stream of the league this Saturday because I'm probably going to end up putting myself in if there's no matches scheduled for Saturday evening. But we wait to see if that's going to be the case. So in the meantime, chaps and ladies and anybody else that's out there, thanks all for joining. Take care, and we will see you again soon.
Good night, ladies.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.